Welcome to the Merle on the Move show. Check it out. Welcome all my new followers, all the first time viewers to the Merle on the Move show. We're finna get turned up. I got a lot of topics going in. I hope I can get to it all. I got so much stuff going on today. Topics that I'm going over, sports, the Lakers, Iowa State basketball. It was tremendous today. Also, why America won't give reparations. I'm gonna go over. I got the facts. Why they won't give reparations to black people in America. The death effect, losing someone you depend on, and how to get through it. Personally, I've experienced this recently. I'm going through that. I'm gonna try to touch base on that if I can. Also, I'm gonna talk about athletes in the media. You got Shannon Sharp, you got Brandon Marshall, you got Cam Newton. You got a lot of different athletes that's trying to do this podcasting and YouTubing. So I'm gonna talk about that some. But the biggest topic I'm gonna talk about, the biggest topic of the world today right now is immigration. It's wild across the country. Trump said it was going to happen. I remember when he's president, he was talking about the migrants was coming to the borders, millions of them. And all over the United States right now, it's been a lot of immigrants. And if you watch the news and now stuff going on down at the border with the governor of Texas putting up barbed wire and defying the immigration control. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk about that some. Plus, I'm going to talk about displaced Palestinians, what's going to happen after the war over there, and will Israel commit genocide? Because where would the Palestinian people go? Because they tearing up and blowing up everything over there. So we'll talk about that. Plus, Chat GPT influencing government reactions. It was some recordings with Joe Biden talking about stuff in Texas, and there's some stuff going on in Texas. I'm talking about that some. And the last thing I might touch on a little bit, if I got a little bit of time here in a minute, is fart jokes. Fart jokes. How are fart jokes funny? What's the humor behind fart jokes? Never understood it. I'm going to get to that a little bit. Anyway, you're welcome to the Merle on the Move show. And I'm going to take a little pause for station identification, all the streaming networks, and just listen to the show. This is Merle on the Move. 21 Savage in the background. I'm happy. Sports is going good. Football's tomorrow, but today, Sunday. Whenever you listen to this, it's football. You got the divisions. You got AFC. I'm going to talk about that sometime. Oh, let's go. Right back at you. Right back at you. It's Merle on the Move. I'm right back at you. So let's get to the sports. I'm going to go. I'm going to breeze over it. I'm going to breeze over it because I'm excited. If you watch, I'm going to get to Iowa State. Iowa State because this is Ames, Iowa. I'm in Ames. I'm gonna get to Iowa State, but the Lakers. Oh, the Lakers! Shout out to my mom. It was a great game. It was the Lakers and Golden State double overtime, a thriller. Oh, LeBron James is that guy. If you ever doubted LeBron James, he is the go. Watch him play, the passing, the way he does his thing. LeBron is the guy. I like LeBron. To me, it's Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. Period. Point blank. He's not going to surpass Jordan, but he's just as good as those guys. To me, and he might get a ring this year. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, Iowa State, shout out Iowa State. Iowa State played Kansas. Kansas number 7 in the nation right now. Well, not after this game. Not after they lost to Iowa State. They are not. I'm pulling up the ranking right now. They should go down. Iowa State was number 23, ranked number 23 in the nation in the Big 12. Oh, no, I think in NCAA. But they just beat Kansas. Great game. Kids here in Ames were sleeping outside the stadium, outside Hilton Coliseum in tents and stuff before the game. They rushed the floor after the game. My man Lipsy from Ames High was balling. Great game. Great game. And I'm proud of them. Iowa State is my team. I think they're going to do great. Shout out to TJ. They're going to do great in the dancing march. So they should move up in the ranking. I think the Lakers is gonna do good. Oh, I was so excited. So my mom, I'm gonna give you a little background on me. My mom is a big Steph Curry fan. Big. She was a Lakers fan. That's why I like the Lakers. But Steph Curry's her guy. She loves Steph Curry, so she started becoming a Golden State fan. She know all the players. She knew all the players. God rest her soul. My mom passed away in October. I'm gonna talk about that here a little bit later. But It's the first time the Lakers and Golden State played this season. And I used to talk to my mom every time the Lakers played Golden State. Anytime NBA team was playing, my mom was watching. We talk on the phone, we video chat or whatever. But this year, they hadn't played. So, the first time they played this year, I was watching it. So, I was quiet. It's kind of my late recording today, but I was in my feelings about it a little bit. And it was a very, really, 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 really great game. And to see it go to overtime, and then it went to a double overtime, and to see the Lakers get the win by 1 point was awesome. Totally, 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 totally awesome. So excited about that. And yeah, anyway, I'll move on to sports. Tomorrow as the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game. You got Kansas City. Shout out to my man David Allen, guy I work with. Shout out to him. He's a big Kansas City fan. My son, little Pac-Man, he's also a Kansas City fan. They team is playing tomorrow, so I know they excited about that. Also, another guy working in Kyle, his team is playing tomorrow, the Detroit Lions. I don't know if they got a little nickname for the Detroit Lions, Motor City team. I don't know what they call themselves. Anyway, they play Detroit playing San Francisco, San Fran. Shout out my man G. Parker Bay, that's his team. And you got in the AFC, you got Baltimore. You got Lamar Jackson. Shout out Lala. That's his team. He a Baltimore Ravens fan. Charles. Anyway, I got Kansas City in Baltimore in that game. I'm gonna watch that. I think I got Baltimore. I'm going with Lamar. I'm going with Lamar in that game. And I'm going with San Francisco in the Detroit game. And I'm going to Lamar for the win for the Super Bowl. I said that I think a couple weeks ago, or at least last week. But anyway, that's all I got on that. Let's move on to entertainment. So, in entertainment news, I was looking at Shade Room, and it's some stuff. Check out. What do you know about Young Thug? I like Young Thug. Big fan of his music. Don't know much about Young Thug. He's been locked up for a while, but he's dating this lady named this artist. I don't know what I call her. Yeah, this artist, Mariah the Scientist. And I guess he was doing. My daughter was telling me about this. He was doing they was doing a phone call, and the guards somehow leaked the phone call. I guess they all listened to the phone call, but they leaked it. They leaked the phone call. You know what I mean? I don't know how I feel about that. It's not something that I'm really versed on, knowing the rules and laws of different states. But anyway, that's news. My man Floyd, I guess, if you watch a little bit of YouTube, you might see NBA YoungBoy did an interview with Bootleg Kev, and he said that Bootleg Kev said he looked like he was a good father. He's like, I'm only in here with them because you here. So he's basically saying he's not a good father. He don't have time to be a good father. So Floyd posted online a whole bunch of money, said he was going to go pay off Young Boy to go pick up his kids, stay away from his house. That's just gossip. That's entertainment news. That's entertainment news. Let's talk about Raising Kanan real quick, and then I'm gonna move on to the other topics I'm gonna talk about. So I'm gonna scoop past this. Raising Kanan was really good. Great episode. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think Rock is really back in the game, really strong. I think our brother Lulu is a drunk and talking too much, and the feds is on Marvin. So check out the Power Universe, Raising Kanan if you want to. Great episode. Anyway, I also watched the show, the Jodie Foster show. That was kind of weird. It's getting a little weird to me. It was really long. I'm kind of understanding. It was really gory. It had some frozen people. Check it out. Episode 2 is out of that. I forget the name of the show right now. I can't think of it. What is the name of the show? Do you know? True Detective. That's the name of the show. True Detectives. Yeah. Thank you. Anyway. Let's move on. It's a commercial playing right now on CNN. I'm gonna get into this topic. I want to talk about real quick, and I hope I get some feedback. Like I said, I hope I get some feedback from people that wants to maybe got an idea of how they may feel about this. So let's talk about reparations. I'm going to talk about reparations, and then I'm going to talk about a few other things like athletes and media. Reparations. The reason why reparations haven't came to Black people in America is not because America hasn't done it before. Reparations hasn't came to Black people not because they can't figure out a way to give it to Black people. That's been an excuse. Some people don't believe that America's ever done it. And so they don't think America has know how to do it. But that's false. America has given reparations in the form of land and protection and a land country charter to the Jewish community, to Israel. Israel we're speaking of right now did not have a charter. You can't exist as a nation to be recognized by other nations if you don't have other countries supporting your charter to become an independent nation. The United States did that, put up money and a security force until Israel was able to build their own. The United States did that. That was after World War II. And then Germany apologized for what they did to the Jewish state and gave them reparations and actually called them reparations, which was money, a form of money to all the Jewish people that they did that stuff to in the Holocaust. And that was in the 40s, in the 50s, right? So they did that. Okay, so then to all the Japanese Americans that was in internment camps here in America in the 80s, Ronald Reagan also gave the Japanese Americans reparations, payments, and a public apology, and gave them money for what they did to them in the 80s. So everybody in this country knows that it was slavery. Everybody knows that. Everybody in this country knows that the families and the children and the men were sold off to other families to work in other plantations and stuff like that. So the families was broken up and the names was changed and religion was stripped. So we know that. We know this is a fact. And it has never been a federal apology on the highest level for these acts. It has been some laws passed and it's been some songs and some programs and some celebrations, but it hasn't been the same effect as it was with the Jewish community and the Japanese community. And it hasn't been any money handed over for this. And this is why. See, the Jewish community have a home state. It's Jewish community all over the world. It's Jews all over the world. So they have a community. They can demand, they have a place to go home to. They can demand something. And the world will demand it with them. Okay? That's why they come with power. They have power. The Jewish community has power. They have their culture. They know who they are. You can't strip them. They tried to strip them. Hitler tried to strip who they was. It didn't work. And throughout time, the Jewish community has been challenged to be exterminated. And they've survived. Salute to that. The Japanese, they've been around since the beginning of time. And during World War II, they tried to take them out. They couldn't. They wouldn't want to surrender. They got nuked. We know what happened. They dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They tried to exterminate the Japanese community. It didn't happen. Didn't work. So they had to, because the Japanese Americans, they have a homeland. They know their language. They know their heritage. They know where they come from. They can demand this. And that's they had delegates that spoke up for them, and the laws passed, and they got reparations. Black Americans don't have any of that. We don't have a homeland. We're Black Americans. We're not African Americans. The African Americans that are from Africa, that are American citizens, they have a homeland. Sudanese, different other parts, in other Egyptians, other parts of other countries in Africa. They know where they're from. Their laws and protections is different than Black people that are born here, because I have no connection to I have no ancestors, no grandfathers, no great-grandfathers. I know no one, but maybe somebody I met on the street. I have no one that can demand to stand up and say, this Black man has a homeland here in Ghana or wherever, Kenya, wherever it's at. It's no connection. So we get dismissed. We Black people have totally assimilated to the culture of white America, to the point to where they don't believe we deserve it. We assimilated. You us. Remember, you just like us now. You don't deserve anything extra. You don't deserve. You got the same chances. You went to school with us. You got the same chances that we had. Even though your family and your kids and your grandfather and my father, I ain't got to go back to my grandfather. Even my grandfather grew up in segregation. My father was born in 1946. So he grew up during segregation. He had to eat in different restaurants and different water fountains and stuff like that. So what are you talking about? How when your father was able to go to whatever school and whatever stuff he wanted to go to, my father was in the army and still was getting segregated against. How's it fair? It's not a level. We didn't start at the same spot, bro. So if that was handled back then, if the apologies and the stuff was handled back then it'd be different. Because when the Civil War was over, they were supposed to do it then, but they killed Lincoln. There's 40 acres and a mule. Y'all know the story. We don't get all into that anyway. So that's why the whole thing. That's why there's no reparations. My feeling. I could be wrong. You can debate me. Send me a message if you think I'm wrong. But I believe that's the reason why is no reparations for black people in America, because we're not looked at as important as another race, because we're not another race represented in another part of the world. It's no black race outside of America. Outside of America, black people are African, but you're from some other place. If you say you're from America and you're black, you're not looked at as African nowhere in America except they call you that here. You're African American. How? If you go to England, the 21 Savage, they ain't looking at him as no black uh, 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 American. I mean, African. They're looking at him as American. If you go to England and you black, and they say, where you from? America. Are they going to call you American? They're going to say, oh, he's a black African. They're going to say he's a black American. But here in the United States, they want me to say I'm a black African or I'm an African American. I'm a black American everywhere I go because I'm a citizen of this country. I'm a black American. And they're trying to confuse you. And until we understand who we are as a people, as a race, us, united front, we know, no discrepancy who we are, we lost. Ain't nobody gonna take us serious because we don't even take ourselves serious. We got people calling ourselves N-words. We got ourselves calling us Negroes, colored, mulattoes, all kind of different terms for black people. Mixed race. You know what? Other urban. They call us everything. But American first. Anyway, I'm a human. Keep me turned up. I'm turned up. Anyway, I want to go over this athletes in media. Let's lighter note. Let's move on. Athletes in media. You got Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, I respect Shannon Sharpe. His commentary is very good. He's a very, very great athlete. Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame, Super Bowl winner, all that. But it seems like there's some disconnect when they feel like they can take over media. And this is what they say. They say, I can do what a journal like, let's talk about Michael Wilburn from Pardon the Interruption on ESPN. He's not an athlete. I don't believe he ever played any sports. Maybe as a child. I'm talking about professionally or collegiately, maybe. I don't think he even played collegiately. I know he went to Northwestern in Chicago. But I don't believe he played any sports. And it's nothing against that. But he covers sports. He's a sports writer. He worked in D.C., sports writer, done a lot of stuff. Shout out to him. Not knocking his credentials. Don't know him all. I apologize if I'm missing something. But anyway, I'm saying to say this. He covers sports. Barry Holly started. He had a TV show with Malcolm Jamar Warner, played him, and I think some other white guy played the other white dude on this show. Forget his name right now. Apologies. But anyway, say this. Shannon's saying, I shouldn't say Shannon is saying this. It was my man Cam Newton saying that I can do what you can do, but you can't do what I can do. So that should make my opinion just as strong as yours, or if not even stronger than yours, because I can do both. Cam Newton is saying he can do media just as good as a guy that went to college and has only done media his whole life for 30 years or plus. But because Cam is a quarterback and was a great quarterback, they didn't win no Super Bowl, Cam, but because you was a quarterback and a great quarterback, and you feel that you're great in the media space, you can do better. I disagree. I watched some of your show. I haven't clicked and watched all of your show, so I will. I will sit down this weekend and click on one of your episodes. I forget the name of your show, Cam. I think called Freaky Fridays. I think that's what it's called. I see you in the Breakfast Club. That's how I know some of this information. But I've seen it on YouTube, and I kind of skip past it because you kind of dress funky. Now, dressing funky is not a reason why I go by. I've seen your personality on TV a few times. I think I even watched an interview of you back in the day. Can't remember what it was. Don't really like your personality, Cam. Nothing against you, but I will watch your show to see if it's good or not because I love good content. But I don't think I would rather watch Stephen A. Smith. I would rather watch Michael Wilburn than watch you, Cam. I would watch Shannon. Shannon's very entertaining. I don't think you're entertaining. I see you smoking cigars and stuff. I don't think you're my kind of entertaining. Brandon Marshall, I like Brandon. I can watch him, no problem. The pivot, I don't like Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor's boring. Great running back, probably a great guy. He's not energetic. He's very mm. Ocho. Our daughter said how I feel about Chad. Um, but anyway, those are some guys I like that's in sports. I like Ryan. Yeah, I think he's good. Uh, Shannon, what's my man's name? The light skinned cat, Shannon. I forget his name. Anyway, he funny. I like his opinion sometimes. He's pretty strong opinionated. But anyway, anyway, Ryan Clark, I like him. I like the way he's a good journalist. Anyway, so I don't know, Cam. That's what I'm saying about that. Media, athletes and media. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I talked. Let's talk about this immigration just a little bit more. The state of Texas is going to start a war if they don't watch out. Because the state of Texas right now saying the states don't have control of the border. The state has control of the state. And it's like the governor of Texas is like taking upon itself, like, I'm going to take care of the border because it's affecting my state. I understand that to a certain degree, but you can't interfere with the federal government. And Joe Biden, I had Fox up earlier. Fox has got some crazy stories on it, but I got to follow both because I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I want to know what's going on. So, right, it said Biden's embrace of tougher border measures is a major shift. So I guess basically he's trying to say that he finna be. I told y'all, it's immigration is big. When the Dems is really talking about it too because they be trying to pass it by. But Texas can't take it upon themselves to go against the federal government. And now Trump is going to weigh in, and it's going to be all over the place. I don't know. I don't live in the South, but I do understand how that will affect it. You got some truck. I was watching on Fox. It's a Fox story up here, real quick. I can give you real quick. They talking about that it's a convoy. It's a truck convoy heading down to the border. Says take our border back. That's what they call it. Take our border back. A truck convoy going down there to interfere. And people talking about I don't mind them going down there as long as there ain't no violence. Blah 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 blah. What gives them the right to interfere in what's going on? It's our country. Man, you're just getting in the way. It's America, right? America. Let's go over to ChatGPT. So the ChatGPT, that's a program that you can put in your computer. It can do all kind of stuff for you. It can take your voice out. It can make you, not make you, but it can make a parody of your voice and make it sound like it's something you said. And you didn't really say it. It's just put it together. They got songs with Drake and stuff like that. So anyway, it was a program. I guess it was something that came out with Joe Biden where they put his words together where he was saying that he was going to send airstrikes over Texas. It said it was Chat GPT that recorded it or put it out. It wasn't really Biden, but it sounded like him because it was his voice. That's scary. That's scary. And anything you put on the internet, even this recording right now, they can chop it up, spice it up, put other stuff together, and make it sound like something you really said. So I don't know how I feel about that. Technology is scary. Love it. Love to use it. Be careful. Fart jokes. I don't like that. I think it's vulgar. I think farting, I think passing gas and all that stuff in front of people is very, very, very rude. I've never been a fan of it. To pull my finger, and fart. Like, who came up with that? Who was the first one that said, you know what, this is funny? Pull my finger. I don't get it. Why would you want to smell crap, dookie, poop? Why would you want to smell that? I don't want to smell that ever. So what's the funny thing about it? Is it someone that did it and was embarrassed and laughed and someone said, oh, what's funny? And he was like, I farted and laughed. And then that became the joke because that makes sense. Embarrassed. People get embarrassed and they laugh because they're embarrassed because they did something they didn't mean to do or, feel a little awkward and somebody farted and they was like, ha, ha, ha. Anyway, and sometimes I feel like people get uncomfortable. I was watching that show, The Man Show. That's the dude that this is Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel used to be on the show called The Man Show with Adam Carolla. I think that's his name. Crew show on Comedy Central. And on his first episode, season 1, they led with fart jokes. Like their very first joke was a fart joke. Like it's not funny. It's cheap humor. It's a cheap way to get humor. Anyway, knock knock. That's a dumbest joke too. Not jokes. Anyway, it's Merle on the Move. I'm glad y'all listened. Tune in next week. I'm gonna sign off right now. Super Bowl is gonna be up in 2 weeks, so I might not do a show next week, but I'll be back for the Super Bowl if I don't. Anyway, tune in, subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Anyway, it's Merle on the Move. Peace. Be a good human. Humans first.